What's up, y'all? Welcome in to the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. He's Michael Wallace. I'm Lang Whitaker, and we are live courtside here at FedEx Forum. We're the Memphis Grizzlies, Santa Grizz.
Come on in.
Come on in, Santa Grizz.
Come on in, Santa.
Santa Grizz just showed up right as we're starting out. Look at this.
There
Santa
we go.
Grizz for the holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Hope you get everything you want in your stocking, Santa Grizz.
Yes.
Santa Grizz is joining us because we're
On
two
cue, right away,
days
right off
away
the
from.
top.
He knows, man. He knows when the spotlight's on. We're here courtside getting ready for the Memphis Grizzlies against the Los Angeles Clippers. Home game number 17. The Grizzlies coming in hot, 20-9 this season. The Clippers above 500, 16-13. I think a better start than a lot of people kind of thought they would get off to with the injuries and the departures they've had. We'll get to them in a second. This Grizzlies team's coming off a 128-112 win in Atlanta. No John Morant, no Trae Young in that game. No problem for the Grizzlies, who came in and really from start to finish handled their business that game. Desmond Bane leads the way, 23-8. Scottie Pippen, 22-9. Grizzlies, 7 players in double figures. Mike, it kind of seems like no matter what happens, the Grizzlies are coming out to play every night.
And that formula, that system, that's what you're seeing right now, because no matter who's available, Lang, you're seeing the same kind of effort, the same kind of energy, and lately the same kind of starts, and that's been key. 43 points in the first quarter against the Atlanta Hawks pretty much put that game, out of reach from the very beginning. The Grizzlies are building these 20-point leads, and they're sustaining them. So to come off of what you did, the complete annihilation of the Golden State Warriors, to come back and do that in Atlanta on the road without John Morant, this team is clicking on all cylinders, man, and they're beautiful to watch right now. Yeah,
the Clippers, we just said 16-13, off to a good start this year without Kawhi Leonard for most of that. Of course, Paul George leaves in the offseason. But Norman Powell's been their leading scorer this season. James Harden's still giving you 8 assists a night, can give you 20 points on any given night. Clippers have lost 4 of their last 6, just split 2 in Dallas. And I think they're a team that this Grizzlies team can't overlook coming in on a game like this.
You can't. And, obviously at some point it seems like Kawhi Leonard is going to work his way back. But they don't have that. They're not looking over their shoulder for Kawhi Leonard. They're finding other ways to get things done. They still have Zubac. They still have, some veterans on this roster that know how to play basketball. And, it's one of those things. I was just watching Nicholas Batum warm up, and I'm like, dang, he's still in the league, but he's still doing things that he's always done. 3-and-D, extending possessions, and then James Harden can keep you in a ball game. So, again, this won't be an easy game at all. The Clippers are sort of unorthodox, so the Grizzlies won't just be able to just straight smoke them. But then again, they might. Just because if the threes are falling the way the Grizzlies have knocked down threes, they're unstoppable.
And if they can get, I think if they can get the Clippers playing a little fast, Clippers want to go slow.
Yes.
The Grizzlies want to play fast, so we'll see who kind of wins that tempo battle between these two teams. The Grizzlies are streaking again. We saw them get off to a hot start in December. The last loss was the Lakers loss in LA. Since then, have been winning again. Jaren Jackson Jr. talked about what it's like building, and he mentioned June again, which I thought was interesting. But let's listen to what Jaren had to say about building for the future.
We have great wing defenders. I mean, they've been doing their job all year. Keeping guys quiet, understanding the job, the personnel. I'm happy for them. They were guarding their ass off today.
Jaren Taylor said that the system is kicking in. Like you can see it now in terms of the pace, principles, and possessions. And it just took some time for it to get to this level. What do you see when you see how you guys perform these last 2 games?
Sure, I agree with them. It's going to take a while for anything to kick in. So, we're about to hit 30-game mark pretty soon. That's around the time things should smooth out, and then closer and closer to June.
You know what it reminds me of? I was thinking about this today. This Grizzlies team reminds me of the 2014-2015 Atlanta Hawks team.
Oh, my goodness,
where Taylor Jenkins was an assistant coach.
Under Budenholzer.
And they had an undefeated month of January. And every game it was a different high scorer. They did their thing on offense. There were no real superstars. But it just seems like everything was working so perfectly. I was thinking about this today. Why'd you say, oh, my goodness, when I brought that up?
Because I asked him about that. I asked Taylor Jenkins that very question when we were in Atlanta before that game there. And he thought about it for a second, and I don't think he really understood how many similarities there are. That team they played 11 deep, right? They had, I think, 6 different double-figure scores. 4 All-Stars, right? They were top 10 in the league in offensive and defensive efficiency. And so when I laid it all out, and plus they shot a ton of threes. When I laid it all out, Taylor was like, I might have to go back and look at that. But he said this team is different just because of the way that they get things done. But he definitely had respect for that 60-win Hawks team. But to go back to Jaren, I followed up after that clip, and I said, you said June. He said, I said June. You said June? June. He said, I know what happens in June. So that tells you where these guys are looking right now.
We've heard this a couple times now from different players talking about giving us timelines that go to June, not till March or April or whatever.
Right.
Which makes you think something's in the ether here.
They have, listen, who's in front of them right now? Like on most power polls, they're in the top 5. They're moved up to 4. They're playing the best basketball in the league right now. 12-2 in their last 14 games. This team, when they again, if they can play to their pace, they know that not many teams can keep up with them. It's just when they get slowed down.
This Grizzlies team also, it's going to start getting a little tougher than it has been.
Yes.
They've had a fortuitous schedule, I guess you could say, and they've won the games, which is what you're supposed to do, right? Our guy Sean Coleman had a tweet here that 12 of the Grizzlies' next 14 games are against top 12 teams in the West, including 11 straight, starting on the 29th through January 20th. Only 2 teams we don't play are the Lakers and Nuggets, the top 12. 8 of the 12 are on the road. So there's a real test coming up here for this Grizzlies team, and I kind of feel like they're equipped to handle it at this moment because they've been through this stretch and have responded the way they have.
And they figured out ways to do it with different personnel. We've seen, Desmond not be his best, and they still find ways to win. We've seen Jaren get in early foul trouble, and they find ways to win. We've seen them do it without Ja Morant and with Ja Morant. But that stretch right there is brutal. The Grizzlies, and you said, what's Tankathon? According to Tankathon, which is a metric system it's a metrics form of what Sean Coleman does.
Tanks.
The Grizzlies have the toughest remaining schedule in the NBA, and it starts right now. And they want this. They welcome this kind of test, and they feel like, okay, this is where we prove we can take that next step.
And I think, look, they're going to be tested. We talked about, well, they had an easy schedule. Well, they still won. They had to do what they were supposed to do.
To put themselves in position.
They've been blowing teams out. There was a stat today in the game notes that I, of course, can't grab right off the top of my head, that they're on pace.
That's all right. James might help us.
They're on pace to shatter the record for the highest outscoring of opponents, 10.2 points per game this season.
Yes.
The previous Grizzlies franchise record was outscoring opponents by 5.7 points per game. So they're almost double what the franchise record is for winning games. They're playing great right now, and I think they're going to be able to, keep this up. Might be a little tougher opponents down the road, but they kind of know what to do now. They figured out the blueprint.
You talk about sustaining it. You know you can get it done. Now can you sustain it? Can it be something you do at home and on the road? We talk about the bench coming through, right? The bench is the highest scoring bench in the league. There have been some inconsistencies with that bench. They're scoring 20 fewer points on the road than they are at home. They're shooting almost 10 percentage points less from 3 on the road than they are from home. So the bench has to be consistent on the road, but this road test will tell us where this team truly stands, and I'm a believer in the Grizzlies right now.
A retired NBA player, I posted the photo of you and me with Brandon Pajimski shooting over us. Retired NBA player said in my DM me and was like, hand down. He said, hand down, man down.
Yes, Lang. And what are you going to do, man? You're not defending
I didn't want
James
Steve Kerr to say I was breaking the code, so I kept my hand down. I'm going to let Harden get his shots up. I'm not going to mess with him.
Shoot himself out now, right? Shoot himself
He's got the new Harden 9s out. I don't want to mess with it. All-Star voting continues. Ja was trying to get out the vote for Jaren and Dez earlier this week. So make sure you guys go out and vote, get your vote out. Ja is back tonight off the injured list. He missed a game in Atlanta. Desmond Bane was listed as questionable. I just got a tweet about 2 minutes ago that he is active and good to go for tonight. Taylor said he felt a little under the weather. Jay Huff still out, and Marcus Smart out with that right index finger injury.
Yeah, another freak finger injury for Marcus Smart. He seemed to be in good spirits. We'll see if this is a short-term injury. The Grizzlies get 2 days off after tonight, and then they're back on the 26th against the Toronto Raptors.
If you make it here early enough, here's the tonight's giveaway.
Okay.
It's a
upside down Grizz that's stuck in the chimney?
Yeah, Grizz in the chimney.
It's not too late to get that ornament up on the tree, man.
I know. I'm going to put it up when I get home.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, all right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. Jessica Benson's going to join us on the other side of this. You're watching the warm-up show here on Grind City Media.
Imagine saying, I'm not even trying to sing, but then you sing like Whitney Houston. Isn't that crazy? That's what Ja Morant does. He's not even trying to sing, but he sings like Whitney Houston or Luther Vandross or whoever it is you prefer. He's not even trying to dunk, and he's dunking like that.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
somebody who really has done what they were supposed to do, or maybe wasn't expected to do, is Jalen Wells, the Western Conference Rookie of the Month.
What you're seeing right now is him showing that, hey, no matter where I was going to go in the draft, I was going to be ready.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
I can't wait to see what your number one. If that's your number two.
Number one for me.
Come on, man.
I listen to the Bells of Luther Vandross. I love Luther Vandross's Christmas album.
I gotta go back and listen to that one, man. I'm sure I've heard it.
To the Bells and they made me remember.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
I want to throw a party just so I can be in control of the aux cord, just so I can force everybody to listen to the Wicked soundtrack. Both of these actresses in Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, I thought it showed how they have experience performing live and on screen, both of them.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back to the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. We got a false start. You're watching the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. I'm Lang Whitaker, joined as always by Jessica Benson as we get 20 minutes from tip-off. 20 minutes from 30 minutes from tip-off, I should say. 50 minutes from tip-off. But Jessica always joins us at this time. I don't know. It's the holiday season. Everybody's tired. We got 2 more games before the team goes on the road for a week and a half. We all get to take a vacation. So we're all just trying to get there. You always join us right now to talk about the main character. Who is tonight's? Maybe we should get a drum roll
I
for
have
this.
2.
All right.
And I feel like a cheater. Every time I bring 2, it's like I can't make up my mind. But on the day where the NBA released its most watched NBA players on social channels, I would be remiss if I did not say tonight's main character is the second most watched player in the NBA this season, which is Ja Morant, coming in at 538 million views across all social chat platforms, only behind LeBron James, who's at 623. It is always a show when Ja Morant takes on anybody, and especially here on the home court, and coming off of a game in Atlanta where he sat, an opportunity to get back out there. The last time he was playing in this building, the Grizzlies beat the Warriors by 51 points, and he actually didn't have to play a whole lot of minutes in that game because it was such a blowout. So we'll see how that is tonight, going up against a more physical Clippers team. They've really rested on their defense this season. Only 4 Clippers players score in double figures. And so when you look at how they have been winning games, a lot of it has been on the defensive end, which brings me to my second main character, and that is Zach Edey, because how will he match up against Ivica Zubac if Ivica Zubac is out there? He is a game-time decision with calf soreness, but we saw him have 20 rebounds in a game against the Grizzlies last season, which certainly contributed to the Grizzlies identifying a need of getting a big, and they found him in the draft in Zach Edey. So how does Edey match up against him tonight?
I'm just curious if Zubac could keep up with this Grizzlies team. I mean, I know he's, as far as bigs go, he's one of the more mobile ones. But this team plays at such a fast pace. The Clippers try to play at a slow pace. And you know the Grizzlies are just going to try to speed him up all night. And maybe they can kind of run him out of this game or get him in foul trouble or whatever.
And if you can, that's where we've seen the 16-point win over the Hawks, the 51-point win over the Warriors, and certainly that 51-point win offsets the point differential over the last 5 games, however many games you want to look into that stat. But what the Grizzlies have been able to do is they get up, and it's so hard for teams to come back because they play with such pace and so many possessions, and they're doing it with that relentless energy. Relentless feels like it's been the word of the year from Taylor Jenkins, from the players echoing the words of Taylor Jenkins, but being relentless on both sides of the ball makes it a tricky thing once you go down double digits chance for a team to find their way back in.
There's a ball. There's a ball.
I dream of getting nailed in the head by a ball on one of these
It's going to happen.
shows.
I'm going to get one. I almost got hit by Pajemski. Harden was over here tonight shooting. All right, how are you feeling about the college football playoffs? I'm not going to be on your show Friday. There's no show.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I was fine with it. I know it was
All the
4
blowouts didn't
blowouts,
bother
but
you? Yeah.
oh wow, I'm so surprised. The 4 home teams favored by double digits all won their
Against
games.
the 4 worst teams to make the 4 lowest ranked teams to get in.
I have no issue with it. We've done this in basketball forever with a tournament where, and I said it on my show this morning, college football isn't about finding diamonds in the rough, it's about finding upsets in the rough. And you don't find those every year, just like you don't always find the ones that you want in any tournament format. My one piece, I would love for the 4 conference champions not to be guaranteed those 4 byes, and so you reseed, and maybe you have some more competitive matchups in the first round.
I think down the road, maybe. I mean, the fact that it happened the way it happened this year means when there is an upset of one of these teams, it makes it more special.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I mean, but we went 10 years in the 4-team playoff, and the closest we really got was Cincinnati getting there, and then that TCU team with Max Duggan at quarterback. They beat Michigan, and then they got destroyed by your Georgia Bulldogs.
That's right, the Georgia Bulldogs.
Like 68-7.
Pete Prenick and I have a bet on the Georgia Notre Dame game. Loser has to wear the tie of the other to the next Grizzly game.
Fair.
I think it's good, right?
I think that's a very wholesome bet.
Maybe I'll have him on here if we Georgia. All right, anyway, you're going to
USC won't be there, so I have no bet.
Yeah, don't worry about that. All right, Jessica's going to go get ready for the radio broadcast. She'll be on the ESPN 92.9 tonight. We're going to take a quick break. Devin Walker joins us on the other side of this. You're watching the warm-up show on Grind City Media.
No matter the distance, we stay persistent. 'Cause that's just who we are.
Posterize. Hello. 3. What a shot. Bain. Irving. Blocked by Morant. Oh, blocked by Jerry. That's insane, Bain. Morant makes his move. Spins in the paint. Turns. Puts it up. Puts it in. John Morant knocks it down. Step back 3. Banga. Powers it in. Ball fed. Oh!
Welcome back to the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. I'm Lang Whitaker, joined now by the golf wang himself. The golf wang. That's me. The odd future. Devin Walker joins us from GCO to talk all things Memphis and the Grizzlies. Mike and I were just talking about this Grizzlies team, and we were trying to put it in perspective how dominant they've been, 12 of the last 14, but every night it's a different person, different player. They're on pace right now to shatter the Grizzlies franchise record for the biggest winning point total per game. They're winning by 10 points a game. The previous franchise record's 5 points per game. What does this feel like to you watching this team every single night having a chance to, out of the block to come beat people?
I mean, I feel like we're watching history every night, right? Whether it's Ja, whether it's Dez, whether it's Jaren, whether it's Santi, whether it's Luke, or whether it's Jalen, whether it's Zach, whether it's Scotty, whether, you know what I'm saying? Like every night is somebody different. And I hate to use this phrase, but strength in numbers, bro, right? A lot of teams would love to have 13 guys that can hoop. And every night you don't know who it's going to be. We're blessed to be able to watch a team, bro. Yeah. Your superstar to have to be a superstar to win every night. Yep. Jaren's probably been the most consistent guy. Yeah. But I think, bro, it's a blessing because these dudes are hooping every single night. For us, by the fourth quarter, we're feet kicked up. I know. You know what I'm saying? I know some people say, oh, don't you want to play a close game? You know what? I'm good with people with the Grizzly, BTA, and everybody, and getting it done by with the Yuki. We want Yuki chance by the fourth quarter.
Speaking of your shirt, it reminds me of the Grizzlies because it's the strength of the wolf is the pack. The strength of the pack is the wolf.
That's deep, man. That's deep.
From the Jungle Book. Shout out Rudyard Kipling.
That's deep.
But that's where it's from, and it does kind of feel like this Grizzlies team, like any given night, it could be anybody. Could be doing. You spent all Saturday here, or was it Wednesday? There was a day where the Memphis men and the women.
That was Saturday. Saturday.
The Memphis men played and lost to Mississippi State. That Mississippi State team was red hot that day. men have now lost 2 games on the season, 3.
I think it's 3.
9-3, 10-3, something like that.
I want to say 10-3. Yeah.
What's your feel around this team? Because I think people didn't really know what to expect coming into the year.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mississippi State, I didn't realize how good they were.
I don't think
they're a different breed, right?
Yeah.
I think the SEC's dominated college basketball.
That's right.
Wait, the camera's right there?
SEC.
Yeah, SEC. Yeah, SEC's dominated college basketball. And the 2 games Memphis has looked like they've been dominating were 2 SEC teams, Auburn, Mississippi State. Mississippi State was a whole different level of basketball, athleticism-wise, skill-wise. And I love the Tigers, right?
Yeah.
But I think they walked into that game and it was like, oh, I told Vernon today on the show, I was like, it got to that 15-minute timeout and I was like, oh yeah, this is not going to happen today. Mississippi State, go Dogs, not your dogs, the other dogs. They're amazing. As far as the women's team, that was dope to see because Zebo's daughter, McKinley, played her first game inside FedEx Forum where her Pops banner hangs.
Yeah.
That was super dope. Zebo was there. Tony was there. The whole Randolph clan was in the building.
Yeah.
And McKinley played well. I think it was their best college game so far. So that was good. It was a long day, Lang, but I made it through.
I actually ran into TA earlier that day at main event. He was having a toy drive.
Yeah. That was I was supposed to be there, and I
went to a birthday party somewhere else. And somebody's like, Tony Allen's at this kid's birthday party. I was like, what? So I went inside when I dropped my son off, and TA was there. And then he was like, I'm leaving to go see McKinley play.
Yep.
So yeah.
So they were in the building. But as far as the Grizzlies go, John Morant's warming up somewhere behind us.
Yeah, show us this.
And John Morant's wearing some shoes, guys. Hold on, I'm gonna show you all this. I'm gonna put these on camera. Let me so I can photo them up. 12 has these on tonight for everybody's watching. Look at those bad boys.
Ja2s. Orange, purple.
I don't think anybody's ever seen them. Mike Wallace asked me why am I showing these. I'm showing these for a reason.
Because they're exclusive.
They are exclusive.
It's a player edition.
So the Ja2 was getting, there they go. There we go. We got a live shot of them. I don't know how to. Can you think you can pull them off?
No,
I think I can pull them off.
You could.
I got a little orange, a little pink, a little yellow.
A little much for me, but that's like the Devin Walker starter kit.
Oh, for sure. Like give me more vibrant. I wish I could see the side of my pants. I got like rhinestones on them. So yeah, but no, the Ja2s he's wearing tonight is one for the books, man. So hopefully we get a win tonight. Get another dub. I'm so thankful though, Lang. I'm thankful that every time we come into this arena now, we're seeing dubs.
Yep.
Because last year you were here. It was treacherous.
It was tough.
It was treacherous. So.
But we're back, and we're going to see it tonight. All right, we're going to take another break, come back, wrap up this edition of the warm-up show here on Grind City Media.
There was a tweet from NBA G League that Cam Spencer was, quote, unconscious. Cam Spencer had 51 points on 75% shooting. The Grizzlies' front office ability to find talent late in the draft continues to be a massive, massive positive for this team.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
How about them Tigers?
How about the Tigers?
Go.
Beat Tulane in a game that nobody called. Nobody thought was going to happen. They were a 2-touchdown underdog, and they got the win.
Number 25 in the AP right now, number 24 in the coaches poll right now. So this is a Tigers football team that's going to end the regular season ranked in both major polls, possibly ranked in the CFP as well, with 10 wins. That's a damn good season.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Look at that. We got the whole Grizzlies team just infiltrated our studio. Santi Aldama's in the house. Look at everybody. The whole Grizzlies team. Look at Zach Edey's in the house. John Morant's in the house. Say hello. Say hello.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
ESPN put out a list. Top 30 best pro wrestlers under 30 in the world today. Number 1, Dirty Dom. Number 2, MJF.
I think Dom is deserving to be number 1. I think he is probably, like I said, one of the greatest heels in the last 10, 15 years. Like you said, he can't talk on the microphone.
The fans love it because they feel like they're a part of the show.
And that's the best.
Without their booze, he's not the best heel.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the warm-up show. Y'all here on Grind City Media. I'm Lang Whitaker, joined again by Michael Wallace. We got about 5 more minutes. We're going to get you out of here and get you ready for the pregame shows on FanDuel Sportsnet on ESPN 92.9. A couple things around the NBA we want to get to before we get out of here. One of them is that...
Like we always do about this time.
Like we always do at this time.
Yeah.
Christmas time is here. In the next 48 hours, we get to have a day off. We do. But the NBA's got games on all day. Here's a look at the games that are on the docket for Christmas Day. Which one of those is exciting to you, most exciting?
Most exciting to me is the first one.
Yeah.
I want to see Wemby, the way he's been playing lately
Yeah, he's been
at
hot.
Madison Square Garden. I mean, this guy had, a 30-point, 10-block game coming off of that. San Antonio's winning basketball games now. They're going to be in the playoff mix. Who would have thought that they would have turned it around as quickly as they have, considering the controversy that they've been through with Coach Popovich still being sidelined after having a stroke there. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Victor Wembanyama and the leadership of Chris Paul.
And the Knicks have been great lately, too, since the Carl Anthony Towns trade. There's a couple other ones in there. I can think of one other team I'd rather see on Christmas Day. That's not on the list, but... it is what it is.
We'll get back. We'll get back there. Grizzlies will get back there. Hey, you got to answer it, though. What do you want to see?
I'll go, since you took that one, I guess I'll go the late night game.
Okay.
Denver-Phoenix. Give me something to stay up for at the end of the night, because some of these other games don't look like they might not be so great. The G League Winter Showcase just happened down in Orlando, and the Memphis Hustle were down there. Lost 2 games, but they were both super close games. One of them, the second one, they lost in overtime. And Yuki Kawamura was down there playing. The NBA put out this video with Yuki, who we've seen him shine on the basketball court. Did you know Yuki was also an artist?
It didn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
They had Yuki draw himself on this video, and he actually does a pretty good job here. They give him a picture to use to draw with, and he starts doing a little bit of a cartoony version. Ears maybe a little off.
Now he's filling it in.
Yeah.
Now you can see it.
He's got kind of that anime vibe to it.
Yeah.
But he does a good job of drawing himself.
Oh, the part and the ears set it off. Yeah, that's Yuki right there. In the block letter. Man, what can't Yuki do?
He can do it all.
He can do it all, man. He can pass, he can score, he can shoot, he can defend for his size.
He's
he
figuring it out. The size part.
He sells candy. You had the jelly beans.
He was passing out jelly beans. Yeah, look at there.
Great job, man. Great job, Yuki. And look at that smile, $1 million smile.
We need to auction that thing off, because I bet you we got a lot of engagement on that. All right, we got about a minute and a half before we get out of here, and we're going to get you to the pregame shows. We talked a little bit about this Clippers team slowing it down. Vika Zubac is apparently a game-time decision, according to Jessica. So we'll see if he plays or not. But this Grizzlies team has been able to win these games in so many different ways every single night. Give me one matchup you're going to have your eye on tonight.
Man, that's a great one right there. But you got to start with James Harden. I know he's sort of that combo guard, but James Harden and either, I want to see if they're going to put not Cam, but Jalen Wells on him or Desmond Bane on him. I want to see who matches up with James Harden. Probably Jalen Wells. Yeah. And that's going to be a tough matchup right there. Let's see if Jalen can stay out of foul trouble.
Especially because, that's the thing. Harden's got every trick. Harden invented the book that has all the tricks in it.
Yeah.
That has all the slow motion moves, the pump fakes, drawing the fouls, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So you don't want to see Jalen get in foul trouble right off the bat.
Right. Without Marcus being available
that's
too.
True.
So yeah.
And their leading scorer this year, the Clippers' leading scorer has been Norman Powell. So maybe you see Jalen start on him, and you put Dez or somebody else on.
But the key, what Taylor's been doing with Jalen though, has been sticking him on the ball handler, the key ball handler when it comes to that. The exception has been Steph Curry because Steph was off the ball.
They just went box and one on Curry.
Yeah, they did. Basically. They did. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see how the defensive assignment goes.
Also, I want to see Zach Edey tonight up against Zubac or whoever it is.
That's the guy he looked up to. He keeps mentioning Zubac as a guy that he's looked up to coming into the league in terms of how he patterns his game after. So that's going to be interesting.
And Jessica pointed out Zubac had 20 boards against us last season or whenever that was. Remember when he went crazy?
He did.
He's active on the boards. And I just want to also, the other thing I want to look at, not a player matchup, but just pace. see how many possessions the Grizzlies are able to get. Can we keep this at a up and down game, or are they going to slow it down the way they like to do? All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. If you want, flip over to FanDuel Sports Network. You got Fish, Chris, Pete, and Brev getting ready over there. Or if you're in your car or whatever, flip over to ESPN 92.9. Look who's coming back for the end of this thing, too. He was here at the start. He's here at the end.
He's closing. He brought us in, and he's closing us out.
He's got to close out his Grizz. You can turn it on ESPN 92.9 and finish it off. We'll see you for the next home game, which is on the 26th here against the Toronto Raptors. You've been watching the warm-up show here on Grind City Media.